The data related to climate change vulnerability and resource demand in Islamabad highlights how population growth and its resulting pressures are severely amplifying the dangers posed by climate change. Population and resource demand dynamics. Islamabad's rapidly increasing population is the primary driver straining the city's resources and environmental capacity. The metropolitan area's population is estimated to be around 1.301 million in 2025, reflecting a consistently high annual growth rate of approximately 2.68% between 2024 and 2025. This unchecked growth is a major contributing factor to the city's overall environmental crisis, as it leads to urban sprawl, the destruction of green belts, and the intensification of the urban heat island effect, water scarcity, and climate risk amplification. The growing populace creates a soaring demand for water that far outstrips supply, making the city critically vulnerable to climate-induced droughts and erratic rainfall. The current domestic water supply for Islamabad is approximately 65 million gallons per day, but the demand has exceeded conventional supplies, resulting in a severe water deficit of about 52 million gallons per day. This deficit forces an over-reliance on unsustainable methods, most notably the intense extraction of groundwater. This overpumping has caused the groundwater depth to plummet from approximately 22.8 meters to 56 meters over time. On a national level, Pakistan's per capita water availability has sharply declined from 5,600 cubic meters per year in 1951 to less than 1,000 cubic meters per year in 2018. Officially classifying the country as water scarce, this combination of high local demand, a massive deficit, and regional scarcity means that climate impacts like prolonged drought or the reduced flow from melting glaciers could trigger an immediate and catastrophic water crisis in Islamabad. Monetary and water security challenges. The city's resource demands also place stress on the energy grid and the surrounding agricultural sector, linking resource vulnerability to climate hazards like heat waves and floods. The massive population surge, combined with rising temperatures due to climate change, creates an escalating demand for cooling during prolonged heat waves. This places immense stress on the national power grid, which is still reliant on fossil fuels for over 45% of its electricity generation, fiscal year 2024. This reliance contributes to the very emissions that worsen the climate crisis. Furthermore, the rising urban population drives an increased demand for food, which is becoming more difficult to meet. The agricultural sector that supplies the city is highly susceptible to climate-induced disasters. For instance, the recent devastating floods have significantly contributed to high food inflation and worsened food insecurity across the country, where approximately 11 million people were already facing high levels of acute food insecurity between late 2024 and early 2025. These resource dynamics transform climate events from simple weather occurrences into severe societal and economic crises for Islamabad